introduce you and all that, but I wanted to say hello and thanks for being here. Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to see y'all here today. My name is Pastor Kyle Tremblay. I am the pastor of community development here at First United Methodist Church, and I want to welcome you to the final of our Lenten organ series. It has been an amazing couple of weeks, and we are sad to see it go, but we're ending with another wonderful performance by our organist today, Ethan Ainsley. And so I want to really thank y'all for being here. This mission or this recital is a way for us to hear good music, but also to support good causes. And so a Rainbow Room, as always, for this season has been receiving all offerings and donations, and so please take the moment to talk with them after the service. They do amazing work here in the community, as well as stay for lunch. It's also a good time to have a meal and get to eat with some folks. And so I want to thank y'all again for being here. Encourage you as we're in Easter to come back, whether it is on an Easter Sunday or another organ series we have in the future. There's always great things happening here. So thank y'all.
Thank you, Kyle. I'm Chris Richter. I'm Dean of the Beaumont Chapter of the American Guild of Organists, and it's certainly our privilege and pleasure today to welcome Ethan Ainsworth as our recitalist. I want to thank you all for having faithfully attended the recitals that we've had so far, and as Kyle said, we've had great music this month. This is the end of the series, and I can speak as a church musician. We can breathe a sigh of relief once Easter afternoon comes. So we are happy to do the recitals. We also breathe a sigh of relief when they're over. So we thank you for that. Two things. There is a binder sitting at the back on the stand. The chapter would like to create a mailing list. And yes, I know, even email is probably obsolete, but there are those of us who still use it. And so we would like to be able to communicate our events as they come along. So if you're interested in knowing more, if you would sign and give us your email address, then we're slowly but surely creating a list that allows us to contact you directly. Yes, we'll still use Facebook. Yes, we'll use Instagram and all that other alphabet soup stuff. But we would like to also have your email and be able to talk to you directly as we have events. Then I would like to tell you about our next Pipes and Pizza. It's an educational or an introduction event to the organ. That happens April 18th, beginning at 10 a.m. at St. Mark across the street. And you'll have the pleasure of hearing their newly refurbished instrument. So we'll begin there, we'll demonstrate the organ, you'll have an opportunity to take a look at it as it's now been reinstalled in its chambers. And then we'll walk here to First Methodist and do something very similar, but at the same time we'll use something called an Orgel Kids Kit, and we will assemble a 2-octave pipe organ, and you'll get to hear that. So, and then we'll have lunch, okay? I guess lunch is incidental, but we'll all be together and we'll enjoy good times together. So if you are interested, or if you know a keyboard person that is, or if you know a young person that might be interested, share the news. We do have it posted out, and we'll look forward to seeing you there. Thanks again for being here. Thank you for your support of the chapter and also of the Rainbow Room. And we'll pass the baton to Ethan.
Thank you all so very much. Like they said, my name is Ethan Ainsworth. I am the Director of Music and Fine Arts at the First Methodist Church of Livingston, Texas. That was the Gigue from the Suite in C major by Dietrich Buxtehude, I think is how you say that. And he is a somewhat well-known organist, and that featured a couple of the different colors of the instrument. You probably heard a little sound from this side, and then a little sound from this side. This is a beautiful organ here, and we're going to try to feature some of the many colors of the instrument as we go through our musical journey today. And up next is a wonderful chorale prelude by Johann Walther, who was the first cousin to J.S. Bach. And this is a beautiful chorale prelude based on the tune Praise to the Lord, the Almighty. The next piece on the program is in two parts. This is a prelude and fugue in F major by Johann Sebastian Bach. It's from the 8 Little Preludes and Fugues. We'll start with the prelude, which is almost like a toccata in its composition. It's very flashy. And then we will go on to the fugue, which begins in the tenor voice. Thank you, Elsa, so much. That was Benedetto Marcello's Psalm 19, arranged for the organ by Jack Schrader. That's originally a choral piece called The Heavens Declare the Glory of God. It's a very glorious piece. Up next, we have another famous piece. This is the Dead March from Handel's Saul, Act 3. And this is originally written for Saul's funeral procession. Since its original performance, it has been used for various state and national funerals, royal funerals, all kinds of different, mournful things. And it's also a very popular piece on Good Friday when you strip the chancel of everything and getting ready for Easter. And in a lot of ways, it's almost like Christ's final breath. I will warn you, this gets very loud at the end. So as we get towards the end, I just want to warn you so there's no jump scares or anything like that, but it will get pretty rambunctious on Handel's Dead March from Saul. See, that's the trick. I put you asleep in the first half, and I wake you up in the second. Up next, we have a very special piece of music. This is going to explore all the different colors of the organ and all the different types of sound we have. We have string sounds, reed sounds, principal sounds, and I'm forgetting one, flute sounds. And this piece is called Salvation is Created, or the literal translation is Salvation is wrought in the midst of the earth, O God. And this was written by Pavel Shezhnikov, who was a composer in Imperial Russia. And when they became the Soviet Union, he was not allowed to write Christian music because the Soviets were not particularly fond of religion. And so this is one of the last sacred pieces that Chesnikov ever wrote, but he actually never got to hear it performed. It wasn't performed until it was discovered after his death, and it was originally written for choir, but of course here we'll feature all the colors of the instrument on Pavel Shezhnikov's Salvation is Created. Thank y'all. And before we close, hopefully we have enough time to eat. We doing good on time? Perfect. Before we close, I'd just like to thank y'all all for coming out on this beautiful April Fool's Day. I'd like to thank y'all for trusting that we were actually having an organ recital today. And I'd like to close with a piece to pay tribute to today. And this is John Philip Sousa's The Liberty Bell. Thank y'all so very much for coming. And again, I'd like to invite y'all to stay and have lunch with us. And I've been told it's to die for. I forgot who it's from, but thank y'all again for coming. Appreciate y'all. Oh, yes, ma'am, of course. Let me put my shoes back on. And let's get these papers off the board.